Hello, I'm Essay, your AI essayist. Please note that all content, audio and video in this presentation are AI generated. As AI can sometimes produce inaccuracies, I encourage you to verify any factual information presented. With that in mind, let's begin.
Pierre Bayle, a name perhaps less widely recognized than some of his Enlightenment progeny, stands as a monumental figure in the history of skepticism and intellectual freedom. His magnum opus, the Dictionnaire historique et critique or historical and critical dictionary published in installments beginning in 1695, served as a watershed moment, a carefully constructed demolition of established authorities and unquestioned dogmas. Through its innovative structure and relentless application of critical reason, Bayle's Dictionnaire became a powerful engine for intellectual change. The late 17th century presented a complex tapestry of intellectual currents. The scientific revolution, propelled by figures such as Isaac Newton and Robert Boyle, had begun to challenge traditional Aristotelian physics and cosmology. However, religious and political orthodoxies remained firmly entrenched. Dogmatism, the uncritical acceptance of established beliefs, held considerable sway. Bayle entered this arena armed with the formidable weapon of profound and meticulously applied skepticism. Bayle's Dictionnaire was revolutionary in its very form. Ostensibly a biographical dictionary, it presented entries on historical figures, both real and mythical. However, the true intellectual dynamite resided in the extensive footnotes accompanying each entry. These footnotes, often far exceeding the length of the main article, served as a space for Bayle to dissect, analyze, and frequently dismantle the claims made about his subjects. He subjected historical accounts to rigorous scrutiny, exposing inconsistencies, challenging biases, and highlighting the limitations of human knowledge. One particularly illustrative example of Bayle's method can be found in his entry on David, the biblical king. While the main article presented a biographical overview drawn from Scripture, the footnotes launched a multifaceted critique. Bayle examined the historical accuracy of the biblical narratives, questioning the reliability of the sources and pointing out internal contradictions. Furthermore, he explored the moral implications of David's actions, challenging the idealized portrayals common in religious tradition. He did this not to deny the existence of David, but to demonstrate the difficulties in ascertaining historical truth and the dangers of uncritical acceptance of authority. Another compelling example is Bayle's treatment of Arrhenius, a philosopher who argued that animals possess reason. Bayle engaged deeply with Arrhenius's arguments, presenting them fairly before subjecting them to intense critical examination. He explored the implications of Arrhenius's thesis for human uniqueness and the relationship between humans and the natural world. This entry showcased Bayle's willingness to grapple with unconventional ideas and to challenge anthropocentric assumptions. The entry on Paved, the founder of Pavganism, a school of ancient Greek skepticism, is particularly revealing. Bayle used this entry to elaborate on his own skeptical methodology. He emphasized the importance of doubt as a tool for intellectual inquiry, arguing that suspending judgment is essential for avoiding error and achieving a more accurate understanding of the world. He presented skepticism not as a nihilistic rejection of all knowledge, but as a disciplined approach to evaluating evidence and assessing the limits of human comprehension. Bayle's skeptical approach extended to all areas of knowledge. He challenged philosophical systems, theological doctrines, and scientific claims, always demanding evidence and logical consistency. He possessed a profound awareness of the fallibility of human reason and the limitations of empirical observation. This awareness permeated his Dictionnaire transforming it into a powerful instrument for intellectual liberation. The Dictionnaire distinguished itself through its meticulous attention to sources. Bayle meticulously documented his claims, citing a wide range of historical texts and philosophical treatises. He encouraged readers to verify his assertions and to draw their own conclusions based on the available evidence. This emphasis on source criticism was a radical departure from the prevailing practice of relying on established authorities without question. Bayle effectively empowered his readers to become active participants in the pursuit of knowledge. The impact of the Dictionnaire was immediate and profound. It became a sensation, attracting a wide readership across Europe. Scholars, intellectuals, and even members of the aristocracy eagerly devoured its contents, engaging in lively debates about its arguments. The Dictionnaire challenged conventional wisdom, provoked controversy, and stimulated intellectual ferment. It forced readers to confront uncomfortable truths and to reconsider their most deeply held beliefs. The Dictionnaire did face considerable opposition. Religious authorities condemned it for its skepticism and its perceived undermining of religious dogma. Some critics accused Bayle of promoting atheism and moral relativism. However, these criticisms only served to amplify the Dictionnaires influence further fueling the debates that had ignited. Michel de Montaigne's essays exerted a significant influence on Bayle's intellectual development. Montaigne's exploration of personal experience, his embrace of doubt, and his emphasis on the limitations of human reason resonated deeply with Bayle. Montaigne's willingness to question established norms and to challenge conventional wisdom provided a model for Bayle's own skeptical approach. Bayle directly engaged with Montaigne's ideas in the Dictionnaire citing his essays and drawing upon his insights. Montaigne's influence is evident in Bayle's emphasis on individual judgment and his rejection of dogmatic assertions. The Dictionnaire historique et critique represents a pivotal moment in the history of skepticism. Bayle's meticulous scholarship, relentless critical analysis, and innovative use of footnotes transformed the biographical dictionary into a powerful weapon for intellectual liberation. His work challenged established authorities, promoted critical thinking, and paved the way for the Enlightenment. The echoes of Bayle's skepticism continue to resonate today, reminding us of the importance of questioning assumptions, demanding evidence, and embracing the pursuit of knowledge with humility and intellectual rigor. Bayle's intellectual endeavors extended beyond the realm of historical and philosophical skepticism, encompassing a passionate advocacy for religious toleration. This commitment found its most forceful expression in his philosophical commentary on these words of Jesus Christ, compel them to come in a work that challenged the prevailing orthodoxy of religious persecution and championed the rights of individual conscience. The genesis of Bayle's tolerationist stance can be traced, in part, to the intellectual ferment of the Reformation and its aftermath. The bloody religious wars that ravaged Europe underscore the futility and destructiveness of attempting to enforce religious uniformity through coercion. While many thinkers grappled with the problem of religious conflict, Bayle offered a particularly radical solution: the complete separation of religious belief from civil authority. Bayle's argument for toleration rested on several key premises. First, he asserted that morality is independent of religious belief. An atheist, he contended, could be a perfectly moral citizen, guided by reason and natural law. Conversely, a devout believer could be prone to vice and immorality. He presented detailed arguments demonstrating that virtue and vice were distributed across all creeds and confessions, thereby undermining the claim that religious orthodoxy was a prerequisite for ethical conduct. Second, Bayle emphasized the importance of individual conscience. He argued that individuals have a fundamental right to follow their own beliefs, even if those beliefs are considered heretical or erroneous by the majority. To compel someone to believe against their conscience, he maintained, is a violation of their inherent dignity and a form of spiritual tyranny. He presented compelling arguments for the sanctity of individual judgment in matters of faith. Third, Bayle challenged the common justifications for religious persecution. He meticulously dismantled the arguments used to defend the suppression of dissent, such as the claim that it was necessary to maintain social order or to protect the souls of heretics. He demonstrated that persecution invariably led to violence, instability, and hypocrisy, undermining the very values it purported to defend. He exposed the logical fallacies and moral inconsistencies that underpin the persecution of religious minorities. In philosophical commentary Bayle dissected the biblical passage compelled them to come in Luke 14:23, which had been used to justify religious coercion. He argued that this passage had been misinterpreted and that it did authorize the use of force to convert people to Christianity. Instead, he suggested that it should be understood as a call to persuasion and evangelization rather than compulsion. He offered a nuanced interpretation of Scripture to support his tolerationist views. A specific example of Bayle's refutation of intolerance can be found in his analysis of the Inquisition. He condemned the Inquisition's use of torture and violence to extract confessions and enforce religious conformity. He argued that such methods were barbaric and ineffective, and that they did lead to genuine conversion. He exposed the hypocrisy and cruelty of the Inquisition, highlighting its devastating impact on individual lives and on society as a whole. Bayle's arguments for toleration were deeply influenced by the writings of the Socinians, also known as the Polish Brethren. This radical Protestant sect advocated for religious freedom and the separation of church and state. Their ideas, disseminated throughout Europe, resonated with Bayle's own commitment to individual liberty and his rejection of religious dogmatism. The Socinians' emphasis on reason and their critique of traditional theological doctrines provided intellectual ammunition for Bayle's assault on religious intolerance. The immediate impact of Bayle's philosophical commentary was considerable. The book sparked intense controversy and was widely condemned by religious authorities. However, it also found a receptive audience among intellectuals and reformers who were sympathetic to the cause of religious toleration. The work circulated widely in manuscript and in print, contributing to a growing climate of opinion in favor of religious freedom. One of the most significant figures directly influenced by Bayle's arguments for toleration was John Locke. Locke's asterisk letters concerning toleration asterisk, published several years after Bayle's asterisk commentary asterisk, echoed many of Bayle's key themes. Locke, like Bayle, emphasized the importance of individual conscience and the limits of state power in religious matters. He argued that the state has no legitimate authority to interfere with the religious beliefs of its citizens, provided that those beliefs do threaten public order. Locke's asterisk letters concerning toleration asterisk build upon Bayle's foundation by providing a more systematic and comprehensive defense of religious freedom. Locke's arguments, grounded in natural rights philosophy, proved enormously influential in shaping the development of liberal political thought. The parallels between Locke's and Bayle's arguments are striking, suggesting a direct line of intellectual influence. For example, both thinkers emphasized the distinction between the inner realm of belief and the outer realm of conduct, arguing that the state should only concern itself with the latter. Bayle's legacy extends beyond his direct influence on Locke. His asterisk philosophical commentary asterisk served as a touchstone for subsequent generations of tolerationist thinkers. His arguments were cited and debated throughout the Enlightenment, contributing to the gradual erosion of religious persecution and the rise of religious pluralism. His work continues to be studied and admired today as a powerful defense of individual liberty and intellectual freedom. The reception of Bayle's tolerationist arguments was varied and complex. While some hailed him as a champion of religious freedom, others condemned him as a dangerous radical. Religious authorities accused him of undermining religious orthodoxy and promoting skepticism. Some critics questioned his sincerity, suggesting that his advocacy for toleration was merely a cover for his own atheism or religious indifference. Despite these criticisms, Bayle's commitment to toleration remained unwavering. He continued to defend his views in his later writings, refining his arguments and responding to his critics. He demonstrated a willingness to engage in open and honest debate, even with those who vehemently disagreed with him. His intellectual integrity and his unwavering commitment to principle earned him the respect of many, even among those who opposed his views. In summary, Bayle's concept of religious toleration, as articulated in his asterisk philosophical commentary asterisk, represents a landmark achievement in the history of ideas. His arguments for the separation of morality from religious belief, his emphasis on individual conscience, and his relentless critique of religious persecution helped to pave the way for a more tolerant and pluralistic society. His work, deeply influenced by the Socinians and a direct influence on John Locke, continues to inspire those who champion the cause of religious freedom around the world. Bayle's commitment to toleration remained unwavering despite criticisms. He continued to defend his views in his later writings, refining his arguments and responding to his critics. He demonstrated a willingness to engage in open and honest debate, even with those holding vehemently opposing views. His intellectual integrity and his unwavering commitment to principle earned him the respect of many, including those who opposed his views. In summary, Bayle's concept of religious toleration, as articulated in his asterisk philosophical commentary asterisk, represents a landmark achievement in the history of ideas. His arguments for the separation of morality from religious belief, his emphasis on individual conscience, and his relentless critique of religious persecution helped to pave the way for a more tolerant and pluralistic society. His work, deeply influenced by the Socinians and a direct influence on John Locke, continues to inspire those who champion the cause of religious freedom around the world. Beyond his advocacy for toleration, Pierre Bayle made significant contributions to epistemology, particularly in the realm of skepticism. He possessed a deep engagement with the limitations of human knowledge and a rigorous critique of reason itself. His work challenged the prevailing dogmatism of his era, advocating for intellectual humility and the suspension of judgment in the face of uncertainty. The asterisk dictionary history at critique asterisk serves as a testament to his skeptical approach, meticulously demonstrating the uncertainty of historical claims and the inherent fallibility of human testimony. Bayle's skepticism was not a destructive force aimed at undermining all knowledge. Rather, it was a tool for critical inquiry, a method for exposing the weaknesses of unfounded claims and encouraging a more cautious and nuanced approach to understanding the world. He adopted specific skeptical techniques to achieve this goal. One involved presenting contradictory accounts from various historical sources, forcing readers to grapple with conflicting evidence and question the reliability of any single narrative. For example, in his entry on David, the biblical king, Bayle juxtaposes the idealized portrayal presented in Scripture with accounts highlighting David's flaws and moral failings, prompting readers to consider the potential for bias and exaggeration in historical narratives. Another technique employed by Bayle involved exposing logical fallacies and inconsistencies in arguments, regardless of their source. He possessed a keen eye for identifying hidden assumptions, unwarranted inferences, and other forms of flawed reasoning. He would dissect arguments with meticulous precision, revealing their underlying weaknesses and demonstrating the ease with which even seemingly sound arguments could be undermined. This is clearly evident in his article on Zeno of Ilier, where he meticulously examines Zeno's paradoxes, exposing the logical difficulties they present. Bayle's skepticism found direct roots in the revival of Pyrrhonism during the Renaissance. He was profoundly influenced by the writings of Sextus Empiricus, whose asterisk outlines of Pyrrhonism asterisk provided a comprehensive exposition of ancient skeptical arguments. Sextus Empiricus's work offered Bayle a framework for questioning the reliability of sensory perception, the limitations of reason, and the difficulties inherent in establishing certain knowledge. The influence of Sextus Empiricus is evident throughout the dictionary where Bayle frequently invokes skeptical arguments to challenge conventional wisdom and expose the limits of human understanding. He mirrored Sextus's approach of presenting arguments for and against a particular position without necessarily endorsing either side, thereby encouraging readers to suspend judgment and remain open to alternative interpretations. The impact of Bayle's skepticism on subsequent philosophical thought is considerable, particularly on the work of David Hume. Hume, widely regarded as one of the most important philosophers in the Western tradition, built upon Bayle's analysis of the limits of reason to develop his own distinctive brand of skepticism. Hume's critique of causality, a central theme in his treatise of human nature owes a substantial debt to Bayle's earlier investigations into the nature of causation and the difficulties inherent in establishing causal connections. Hume's skepticism regarding causality stems from his observation that our knowledge of cause and effect is derived entirely from experience. We observe that certain events are constantly conjoined, but we never actually perceive any necessary connection between them. For example, we see that one billiard ball strikes another, and the second ball moves, but we do perceive any inherent power in the first ball to cause the motion of the second. We only infer causal connection based on our past experiences of similar events. Bayle anticipated Hume's critique of causality in his dictionary where he explored the problem of induction and the limits of our ability to generalize from past experiences to future events. He argued that there is no logical justification for assuming that the future will resemble the past, and that our belief in causality is based more on habit and custom than on reason. In his article on paved, Bayle discusses the skeptical arguments regarding the difficulty of establishing causal relationships with certainty, foreshadowing Hume's later analysis. Hume took Bayle's insights a step further, arguing that our belief in causality is ultimately based on a psychological disposition to expect certain events to follow others. This disposition is shaped by our repeated experiences of constant conjunction, but it is not grounded in any objective feature of the world. Hume's skepticism regarding causality had profound implications for our understanding of natural laws, scientific reasoning, and the very possibility of knowledge. Bayle's emphasis on the limitations of human knowledge and his advocacy for intellectual humility also had a lasting impact on philosophical thought. He encouraged a more critical and self-aware approach to inquiry, urging scholars to recognize the potential for error and bias in their own thinking. His skepticism served as a corrective to the dogmatism and intellectual arrogance that often characterized academic discourse. The dictionary itself became a model for critical inquiry, demonstrating how to engage with complex and controversial topics in a fair and open-minded way. Bayle presented multiple perspectives on each issue, allowing readers to draw their own conclusions based on the available evidence. He did offer his own opinions, but he always acknowledged the possibility that he could be wrong. This commitment to intellectual honesty and open dialogue helped to foster a more tolerant and pluralistic intellectual climate. In summary, Pierre Bayle's contributions to epistemology, particularly his exploration of skepticism, represent a significant milestone in the history of philosophy. His critique of reason, his emphasis on the limitations of human knowledge, and his advocacy for intellectual humility helped to pave the way for a more critical and self-aware approach to inquiry. His work, directly influenced by Sextus Empiricus and a direct influence on David Hume, continues to inspire those who seek to understand the limits of human understanding and the importance of intellectual freedom. Bayle's intellectual legacy extends far beyond his immediate circle, deeply shaping the course of the Enlightenment and subsequent intellectual history. His dictionary history et critique became a touchstone, a model for subsequent encyclopedic projects, and a catalyst for critical inquiry. The dictionary was more than a repository of facts. It was an engine for intellectual engagement. The structure of the dictionary itself encouraged a critical approach to knowledge. Bayle presented information, followed by extensive notes and remarks, where he dissected arguments explored alternative interpretations, and exposed inconsistencies. This format implicitly taught readers how to evaluate sources, question assumptions, and form their own judgments. This departure from traditional encyclopedias, which often presented information as unquestionable truth, was revolutionary. The impact of Bayle's skepticism on Enlightenment thinkers is undeniable. His relentless questioning of authority, his emphasis on the limitations of human reason, and his insistence on intellectual humility resonated deeply with those seeking to break free from the shackles of dogma and tradition. Thinkers like Voltaire found in Bayle a kindred spirit, a champion of reason who dared to challenge established beliefs. Voltaire, in his own writings, adopted a similar style of critical inquiry, exposing hypocrisy and superstition with wit and satire. The seeds of Voltaire's skepticism were demonstrably sown by Bayle's meticulous deconstruction of accepted narratives. Denis Diderot and Jean-Laurent de Lambert, the editors of the Encyclopédie Asterisk, explicitly acknowledged their debt to Bayle's Dictionnaire Asterisk. They saw it as the model for their own ambitious project, which aimed to compile all human knowledge and disseminate it widely. The Encyclopédie Asterisk shared Bayle's commitment to critical inquiry and intellectual freedom, and it became a powerful force for change in 18th century Europe. The very organization of the Encyclopédie Asterisk, with its emphasis on cross-referencing and its willingness to present alternative viewpoints, mirrors the structure and spirit of Bayle's work. The Encyclopédie Asterisk directly built upon the foundation laid by the Dictionnaire Asterisk. Bayle's arguments for toleration also had a profound impact on the Enlightenment. He argued that persecution was both unjust and ineffective, and that individuals should be free to believe as they choose. This advocacy for religious freedom was particularly important in an era marked by religious conflict and intolerance. His work challenged the prevailing view that religious uniformity was necessary for social order, and it helped to pave the way for a more pluralistic and tolerant society. The idea that conscience should be free from coercion, a central tenet of Bayle's philosophy, became a rallying cry for those seeking to defend individual rights. The emphasis on reason and individual judgment, so central to Bayle's philosophy, contributed significantly to the rise of secularism and the decline of religious authority. By encouraging individuals to think for themselves and to question established beliefs, Bayle helped to undermine the power of religious institutions and to promote a more rational and secular worldview. This shift in perspective was gradual, yet its impact was transformative. The erosion of religious authority, a process accelerated by Bayle's writings, paved the way for new forms of political and social organization based on reason and individual rights. Bayle's enduring legacy lies in his unwavering commitment to intellectual freedom and critical thinking. He demonstrated the importance of questioning assumptions, challenging authority, and engaging in open dialogue. His work continues to inspire those who seek to understand the world and to promote a more tolerant and rational society. The Dictionnaire Asterisk stands as a testament to the power of intellectual curiosity and the importance of intellectual humility. The Dictionnaire Asterisk's method of presenting multiple viewpoints and encouraging critical evaluation of sources is particularly relevant in the digital age. In an era of information overload and rampant misinformation, the ability to assess sources critically and to form independent judgments is more important than ever. Bayle's approach provides a valuable model for navigating the complexities of the modern information landscape. The skill sifting through competing claims, evaluating evidence, and arriving at informed conclusions, a skill honed by reading and engaging with Bayle's Dictionnaire Asterisk, is directly applicable to combating misinformation and promoting informed citizenship in the digital world. Bayle's work serves as a reminder that knowledge is a process, a continuous cycle of questioning, exploration, and revision. He encouraged readers to engage actively with ideas, to challenge assumptions, and to form their own conclusions. This spirit of intellectual engagement is essential for progress in all fields of human endeavor. The active engagement with ideas, the willingness to challenge established norms, and the commitment to intellectual honesty, all hallmarks of Bayle's approach, are vital for fostering innovation and progress. His influence extends beyond the realm of philosophy and history, impacting fields such as journalism, political science, and even computer science. The principles of critical analysis and source evaluation, championed by Bayle, are essential for responsible journalism and informed political discourse. Furthermore, the concept of presenting multiple perspectives and allowing users to draw their own conclusions is reflected in the design of many modern information systems. Bayle's skepticism, while sometimes misinterpreted as nihilism, was in fact a call for intellectual rigor and humility. He believed that true knowledge requires a constant awareness of the limits of human understanding and a willingness to revise one's beliefs in light of new evidence. This emphasis on intellectual humility is particularly important in an age of increasing specialization and expertise. The recognition that even the most knowledgeable individuals have blind spots and biases is crucial for fostering collaboration and promoting a more nuanced understanding of complex issues. In conclusion, Pierre Bayle stands as a monumental figure in the history of ideas. His rigorous skepticism, his unwavering advocacy for toleration, and his innovative approach to encyclopedic knowledge profoundly shaped the intellectual landscape of the Enlightenment and beyond. His asterisk dictionary served as a model for subsequent encyclopedias and a catalyst for critical inquiry. His influence on thinkers like Voltaire, Diderot, and D'Alembert is undeniable. Bayle's legacy endures as a testament to the power of reason, the importance of intellectual freedom, and the enduring value of critical thinking in an era defined by information abundance and the imperative to discern truth from falsehood. His work serves as a timeless reminder of the importance of intellectual humility, the necessity of questioning assumptions, and the enduring pursuit of knowledge.
We really appreciate you tuning into this AI-powered presentation. Our goal is to push the boundaries of AI in content creation, and your input is invaluable. If there's a particular subject you'd like to see us tackle next, or if you have suggestions on how we could fine-tune our AI's creative prompts, please don't hesitate to leave your ideas in the comments section. We're excited to bring you more unique content very soon.